the Davis Cremation Company presents an evening of horror and suspense.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, John.
All ready for tonight's big show?
I sure am, John.
You know,
We
Chris.
plan to knock them dead.
All right. Well, you know, Chris. I was asking the guy on the train the other night to name me one of the oldest industries in America, beginning with the letter C. And he's been listening to our show for some years now, and he knew right away it was cremation.
That's right, John. And one of the oldest companies in the industry is the Davis Cremation Company. Start planning now! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Chris Skiles. Every year at this time, the Davis Cremation Company and its employees from 10 different locations all around the state bring you our special presentation, An Evening of Horror and Suspense. Our first story this evening will surely get your blood running cold, though it could be considered a love story. Lops is written by Guy de Maupassant and adapted by radio legend Susan Harris, starring Beverly Bennett, Rachel Watson, Dan Frederick, Elena Jimenez, Larry Neal, Luciana Tuschini, and Scott Maltz.
They took it away! They took it away from me!
Where does the light come from?
From one window. You can't see it from here. It's high up, so we can't climb to it.
His clothes are hanging off of him.
The food here is rough, but it's nourishing.
Doctor, I didn't mean to
It
suggest.
was like this when he came to us. Something ravishing him from inside. His obsession is eating away at him, chewing through his guts, like a worm in a piece of fruit.
All I meant was, are the restraints truly necessary?
He has terrible fits of rage. He has, in fact, one of the strangest forms of dementia I've ever encountered. It's very morbid.
Aren't they all, Doctor?
Where is she? Where are you taking her?
Have a seat. Kept a journal before his mind became too disordered. Oh, here. May as well read it. It'll no doubt be passed on to your generation, like all the other incurables.
But Doctor, I'm just a student. I'm sure there's nothing I can see in this that you
You
haven't.
read it. Read it. Tell me what you think.
Right up until my 32nd year, I led a quiet and loveless life. Life seemed very simple to me, very good, and very easy. I was rich. I had a taste for
So many different things that I couldn't feel a real passion for anything. I woke up happy every day and did whatever I pleased and went to bed satisfied in hopes that tomorrow would be peaceful and that I'd live the rest of my life without a care in the world. I took a mistress every once in a while, but without ever feeling my heart inflamed with desire or my soul slain by love. It's not a bad way to live. Love is better, but it's terrifying. Love found me in the most extraordinary way. One day, hounding me until I turned and retraced my steps?
Good morning, monsieur. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Yes. It's been too long. Let's see. The last time it was a lady's gold watch, wasn't it?
Monsieur has an excellent memory.
Ah, it's a beautiful piece. I carry it with me. Ah, such a pretty little thing, with its enamel and its gold filigree, and ticking away just as it did the day some woman saw it in a shop window just like yours, and was ravished by the desire to possess such a fine jewel. Ah, the watch's heart is still beating. It's been living out its mechanical life for 100 years now.
More or less, monsieur. You remember, I cannot be precise as to the date of manufacture or the identity of the original owner.
Ah, the original owner. You know, sometimes I look at this watch and just think about her. Who was she? I would have loved to know the woman who chose this exquisite and rare object. She must have felt its heart beating just like hers, as it nestled against her skin, among her satins and lace.
Ah, monsieur. You are a man after my own heart. I too dream of them sometimes. The women of long ago. So beautiful, so tender, so soft, opening their arms to receive their lovers. And now, dead.
All that beauty, all those smiles, the caresses, the hopes, shouldn't all that be eternal?
The kiss is immortal. It travels from mouth to mouth, century to century, age to age. We men, we receive it, we give it, and we die. To the women of yesterday,
To the women of yesterday, I love you all from a distance.
just this morning, I received a small metal clock in the shape of a jewel egg. And monsieur would care to-
Actually, it was the Italian wardrobe that caught my eye.
Ah, you have a keen eye for beauty, monsieur.
It reminded me of the work of a Venetian artist named Vitelli.
Monsieur, I thought of the telly the instant I saw it. I cannot be quite sure, but look at the workmanship. See the poplar wood inlay on the doors. And how cunning they built these drawers into the interior. And from the smallest to the largest, each drawer still glides like silk on satin.
How much? Ah, right.
To ask less would be an insult to the spirit of the telly, monsieur.
Ah, farewell then.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Au revoir.
You will return.
I beg your pardon.
My family has been in this business for generations, monsieur. We have learned to recognize the secret desire burning in your eyes. Such a singular thing, temptation. You look at an object, and little by little it seduces you. It troubles you. It overwhelms you just as a woman's face might. The strange charm that derives from its shape, its color, its personality enters into your soul, and you love it already. You desire it. You want it.
God, this is insufferable.
The need to possess is already there. You will return, monsieur, and the price will be higher unless someone else has bought it. pleasure doing business with you, Monsieur.
I have them put it in my bedroom. Oh, I pity everyone who has never known the honeymoon of a collector with a new purchase. You caress it with your eyes and your hand as if it was flesh and blood. You keep coming back to it. You're always thinking about it. Wherever you go, whatever you're doing, fond memories of it follow you into the street, into crowds, everywhere. When you come home, before you even take off your hat and gloves, you rush to contemplate it with the tenderness of a lover. I worshipped that piece of furniture for an entire week. I spent every waking moment opening all its doors and drawers, tasting all the intimate joys of possession. One night, I noticed one of the panels seemed thicker than the others. It was a secret compartment. Oh, my heart beat like a drum. I spent the entire night searching for the secret, but I couldn't find it. The next morning, I managed to shove a blade into a slit in the wood. A panel slid back, and I saw, spread out on a black velvet background, a woman's hair. Oh yes, a woman's hair. A long braid of blonde, almost red hair, tied at one end with a golden cord. It must have been cut off next to the skin. I sat there, dumbfounded, trembling. A perfume almost too faint to be scented, so old that it seemed more like the ghost of a scent, wafted up from the hidden drawer and the astonishing relic it contained. I lifted it, softly, almost religiously, and I took it out of its hiding place. It unraveled immediately, pouring in golden waves to the floor, as supple and brilliant as the fiery tail of a comet. What was this? When, how, why had these tresses been locked in this bureau? What adventure, what drama was hidden in this souvenir? Who had cut these locks from her head? Was it a lover? On a day of farewell? A husband on a day of revenge? Or the woman who had worn them on a day of despair? Was it at the moment she entered the cloister that she threw away this wealth of love like a gauntlet thrown down the world of the living? Was it at the moment they nailed her into her coffin, young, beautiful, dead, that the one who adored her had taken this jewel from her crown? The only piece of her that he could preserve, the only living part of her flesh which would not have to rot, the only thing that he in his fits of grief could still love and caress and kiss. Was it not strange that these locks had remained just as they were, when there was not a particle left of the body from which they were born? I ran, this hair through my fingers, shivered across my skin like a peculiar caress, like the touch of the dead. I was moved almost to tears. I kept it in my hands for a long, long time, until it seemed to me that the locks themselves were moving, as if some sort of a soul remained hidden within them.
Good morning. Is my renegade brother up and about yet?
Good morning, ma'am. I'll go up and inquire. Your sister is here to see you, sir.
Thank you. I'll be right down.
And how is the prodigal son today?
Very well, actually.
You look like you've been up all night.
Well, yes. We had ourselves a good debauch at the club. But don't think I forgot about our date.
I'm so excited. I haven't been to a matinee since the baby came.
So how is the Lord in air?
Oh, he's the most wonderful baby ever. But he's very picky. The nurse just can't get him to eat his carrots. I don't know what it is. But he does like spinach. He's doing well.
Wonderful child.
He is. He's so cute. You just have to come
Beautiful
by.
street
You
here.
have to come by and see him.
raging river of dead hair. When I finished caressing it, when I locked the wardrobe, I could still feel it there, as if it was a living being, locked up, imprisoned. I felt it, and I desired it again. Once again, I felt the irresistible need to pick it up, to feel it, to torment my shuddering nerves with its cold, slick, maddening, delicious touch. I lived this way for a month or two. I forget how long. Those locks obsessed me. They haunted me. I was happy and tortured, as one is by the anticipation of love. I locked myself in with it alone, to feel it on my skin, to bury my lips in it, to kiss it, to bite it. I brushed it across my face. I drank it. I let my eyes drown in its golden waves. I loved it. Yes, I loved it. And I was waiting. I was waiting for what? I didn't know. One night, I woke up suddenly, but with the feeling that I was not alone in my room. Hello? Nothing. Come on, back to bed. I'll just take one look at it. I'll just touch it once. It'll help me sleep. You seem softer than usual tonight somehow. More animated. Do the dead, in fact, return? Are you there? Will you come to bed with me?
Yes.
The dead do return.
Yes.
Who are you?
I'm yours.
But who were you? When did you live? Who cut off all your
Touch me.
But who?
I've come back. I am the dead. I am the adored, the mysterious, the unknown. I am the unattainable, the invisible. I am death. No other lover will ever taste these burning and terrible joys. You are mine, and I am yours, every day, every night, from now on.
My love!
Possess me.
Yes, she came back. Yes, I saw her. I held her. I had her, just as she was in the other time. I traced with my caresses that long, undulating line from her throat to her feet, following all the curves of her flesh. Oh yes, I had her. Every day, every night, I was deliriously happy. I never wanted to leave her.
Oh, thank God you've come, madam.
Is he no better?
He hasn't left his room in 3 days, madam. He won't let me in, even to empty his commode. When he wouldn't answer my knock at all, who are these gentlemen?
I am a doctor. Madame asked me to accompany her in case my services were needed. And this is my assistant,
Assistant?
in case he turns violent.
He's been such a good master. A bit wild, but never mean, never stingy.
Perhaps he's merely fallen ill. In any case, he will receive excellent care.
Brother, it's me. Won't you come out?
Shh! Don't let them hear you.
Brother, open this door.
Stand aside, madame. Break it down. right. Oh, come with us, please.
No, no, don't lock me up like a criminal! Don't take her away from me! Don't take her away from me!
This last entry is gibberish.
Where is she? What have you done with her? Don't take her away from me!
Listen to him. We have to hose down that obscene lunatic 5 times a day.
But the locks, does the hair really exist?
Disgusting, isn't it?
And what about...
God, a woman? Give me that. The mind of man is capable of anything.
You're listening to an evening of horror and suspense, performed by the Hyde Park Community Players.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, John. Say, are we still on the air?
Yeah, but, well, you don't seem to have your script with you.
Oh, I don't need a script for this. I know what I'm going to say. Everyone knows that the Davis Cremation Company is the best place in Hyde Park to find high-quality memorial services at the very best prices. At Davis Cremation Company, your ash is our treasure. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We now continue with our program, An Evening of Horror and Suspense, brought to you by Davis Cremation Company and its more than 10 locations statewide. Our next story, titled Footsteps Invisible, will have you thinking to yourself, just who is walking behind me? It was written by Robert Arthur and stars Bobby Lyons, Scott Malpass, Pat Cummings, and Gene Hester.
Hello, Clancy. Nice night for ducks. If I only had wet feet, would soon be fine. You're a funny one now. Staying out so late on a night like this. And not customer in sight. Oh, I like it. Like to listen to the storm. It's my imagination work. Mine too. But the only thing I can imagine is my old apartments with a hot tub and a hot drink waiting on.
Somebody snitch a paper? No, I was just curious. You say there isn't any.
the last time you stopped. When you'd gone out, you told me where you were.
That evening, well, I don't know if I like that much, though, being kept track of. Rather lose myself these days. Had enough notoriety in the past.
Had plenty of it 4 years ago, I suppose. I followed the newspaper accounts of your tomb hunting expedition. Interesting work, archaeology. Always wish I could poke around in the past that way sometime.
No. Take my advice. Stay snug and cozy in the present. The past is an uncomfortable place. Sometimes you peer into it, and then spend the rest of your life trying to get away from it. I mustn't stop there, chap. No, not this door. No. Here's your money. No, here, on the counter. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, perfectly all right. I like it when people don't notice. A lot don't, you know, in spite of the signs.
Fine, do that.
No wounded in the war. Sight failed progressively. Went entirely a couple of years ago. So I took up this. But I don't mind. Compensations, you know. Amazing when a person can hear me listens. But you're going to ask me how I knew you, aren't you? By your footsteps. They're very recognizable. Sort of a quick slap. Well,
Look, I've got to talk to somebody. I'll blow my talk. I mean, come on, man. Completely mad. Maybe I am already out of town. You might have a few minutes to spare. You might be willing to keep me company for an hour. Might not be too dull.
well, I guess. Yeah, I have time. I'll just close up. Come on, Foxfire.
We'll go up to my rooms if that's all right.
Oh, pardon me, sir. There's a message here for you from the manager relative to some work we've been doing.
That's. Yeah. Step up a bit. Fifth floor, please. Done. Here we are. Make yourself comfortable. Drink.
Sir,
I won't be round the bush, John. It's like this. I'm a desperate man. I'm being hunted.
I guess so. It was in your voice. The police?
No, your ears are sharp. The police? No. I wish it were. No, by a personal enemy.
Oh, then couldn't the police?
No. They can't help me. Nobody in this world can help me. God have mercy on me, nobody in the next.
Oh, but surely
No, take my word for it. I'm on my own. There's a few, you might say. I'm the hunted one. I've done a lot of hunting in my day. I know the other side of it. It's not pleasant.
This enemy, he's been after you long?
3 years. Again, one night in London. Raining like this. I'm running over some clay tablets to a Beijing deciphering. Part of the loot from the tomb of Tosit. The one the stories in the papers you referred to were about. I've been working pretty hard. I knocked off the pipe. Stood at the window looking down, and then I heard it. Heard him. Heard him hunting for me. Heard his footsteps.
Footsteps?
Yes. In the pitch dark black night. Heard him tramping back and forth as he tried to locate me. Then he picked up my trail. Came up the garden path. My dog, a brigade, tended him with threatened poor beast, and with reason. But he tried to attack. He tore the dog to pieces on my own doorstep. I couldn't see the fight, but I could hear it. The beast held him up long enough for me to run for it. At the back door, into the storm. There was a stream half a mile away. And into that, plunged into it. 22 miles down, went ashore, picked up a ride back to London. Next morning, I left London on a freighter for Australia before I could pick my trail up again. It took him 6 months to get on to me again. Up the Australian gold country. Then again, I had him in time. Got away on a horse. As he was forcing his way into my cabin, I caught a cargo plane from Melbourne, took a fast boat to Shanghai, but I didn't stay there long. No, too much like his own country. Conditions were favourable for him in the Orient. Unfavourable for me. I had a hunch. I hurried to Manila, took a plane for the States there. Got a letter from an old Chinese servant that he had arrived the next night.
This fellow, this enemy of yours, you said the Orient was too much like his own country. I assume you mean Egypt?
Yes. He comes from Egypt. I am incurred as well as his enmity there.
He's a native then?
Well,
Egyptian native?
Yes. In a way, you might call him a native of Egypt. Strictly speaking, he comes from another country, one less well known.
But I should think that you, a man of wealth, would have all kinds of recourse against a native, no matter where he might be from. I mean, after all, the man is bound to be conspicuous and ought to be easy to pick up. Now, I know you said the police could not help you, but have you tried? And how in the world does a fellow follow you so persistently? From London to Australia to Shanghai? That's a thin trail to run down.
I know, you're puzzled, but take my word for it, the police are no good. This chap, well, he isn't conspicuous, that's all. He moves mostly at night. But even so, he can go anywhere. Well, the message, see? As for following me, he has his own ways of doing that too. He's persistent, so awfully persistent. And that's the horror of it, the blind, stubborn persistence with which he keeps on my trail.
Well, I admit you've got me curious, and I can see easily enough there are some things you don't want to tell me. I suppose the reason he's hunting you so doggedly is one of them.
You are right. Well, I'll tell you this. Well, on the expedition we were digging out old Tut and Tutsit, it was something I did. A law I violated. A law I was aware of, but well, I went ahead anywhere. You see, there were some things we found buried with the old Tutsit. The press didn't hear about. Some papyri, some clay tablets. Not the main two. Small one. Well, I can't tell you anymore. I violated an ancient law. Got panicky, tried to escape the consequences, and in doing so, I ran afoul of this fellow. Put him down on my neck. You don't mind?
Certainly, I'll drop the subject. After all, it's your business. You've never tried to ambush the fellow and have it out with him, I suppose.
No, yes. My only safety is in flight, so I kept running. I came to New York. I've been here since. Very heart of the city. It's the best place of all to hide. Among the people, so many millions recrossing my path, running up my trail, confused the scent.
Confused the scent?
Yes, more than I meant to that time. Yes, it's true. He sends me out. In part, at least, it's hard to explain. All of the intangible evidences of my passing.
I see.
I've been here almost a year now. Almost 12 months with no sign of him. I've been cautious, how cautious I've been. Lying in my burrow, like a terrified rabbit. And most of the time I've been right here, close to Times Square, where 1 million people a day cut my trail. I've huddled in my 2 rooms here. There's a bedroom beyond. Going out only by day. is usually not Saxon at night. The day people can use it. It's the lonely beaches of the late hours that he likes best. It's during them that I come here. Listen, wait for it. Except on stormy nights like this. Storms make his job more difficult. And the rain washes away my scent. The confusion of the winds, the raging of the elements dissipate my more intangible trail. That's why I ventured out tonight. Someday, even here, you'll find me. I'm prepared. I'll hear him coming, I hope. As he forces this door, I'll get out to the other one, the one in the bedroom, and get away. I learned early the folly of opening up an bar with only one exit. Now, I always have at least one emergency doorway. Oh, believe me, it's a ghastly existence. But lying awake in quiet hours of the night, listen like him. The touch of the heart, the sitting bolt upright, the constant and continuing terror. I have a proposition.
Yes? What
What
kind of...
kind of proposition? This, that you help me out by listening for them.
Listen for your enemy.
Yes! Listen for his approach, like a sentinel, an outpost. Look, you're down in your little stand every evening from 6 on. You stay in late at night. You're posted there, not 50 feet from this hotel. He comes by, he'll go by you. He found him, cast him out of it, you know, to unravel the trail, double back, and forth like a hunting dog, you know, until he gets it straightened out. He may go by 3 or 4 times before he's sure. Now, you have a keen ear. If he goes by while you're on the job, you have to hear him. And if you do, you can let me know. I will stop the tormentor to come over if you signal. Or you can leave your stand and come up here. You can make it easily enough. It's only 50 feet. But somehow you must warn me and say that you will. You're frightened. There's no need to be. He won't attack you. Only me.
That part's all right. What you told me isn't altogether clear. Well, I'll be frank, I'm not absolutely sure whether you're sane or not. But I wouldn't mind listening for you, only don't you see? There wouldn't be any way to recognize your enemy's step.
Good. Just so you'll do it. The last bit is easy enough. I know what a step sounds like only too well. I can imitate a step for you, I think. There's only one thing about it. Well, not everyone can get it. But I'm counting on your blindness to give your ears the extra sensitivity. No matter, we'll have to have a go at it. Let's see, give me a moment, let's see, how should I? I've got it! Yes, I put a bedroom slipper on each hand. Now, it's a noise like this. With your extra key, you can hear a faint click or scratch in each step. What is it? What's wrong?
Surrounded. Surrounded. You've already heard those footsteps an hour ago in the rain. By my stand.
Tonight?
Just a few minutes before you came by, I heard footsteps, his footsteps, shuffling by. The dog woke and growled, and they approached me slowly, pausing, and then going on.
What then? Go on, what then?
They turned, he went down 7th Avenue, going south.
He struck me down at last. I've got to go. Tonight. Now. You say he's turned south?
Yes.
No, but that means nothing. That means... He'll turn back, and since he passed, I made a fresh trail. The rain may not have washed it quite away. No, he picked it up. He may be coming up those stairs now. No. Back. Oh, money. It's all in the bureau. Excuse me, sit tight. The door won't open. In the lock. Oh, the message. bloody clock handed me, could it? The fool. Oh, the bloody fool. Dear sir, the decoration needed to open your back door. He inadvertently jammed in the lock. Will send for locksmith tomorrow, trusting you will not be inconvenienced. Oh, God deliver us from the fools. Luckily, there's still time to get out this way. Come on, don't sit there. Come on, I'll show you down. But we must hurry. Hurry.
Turn and listen.
He's out there. Yes. The door's closed. Hold on for a moment. Look, sit tight. Hold your door. It'll ignore you. It's me he wants. I've got to get that other door open before they can come through.
Karen, what's happening? Karen? Who are you? Karen, I'm coming out. Oh my God, he's jumped 5 stories. I gotta get down there. Hello? Hello?
What's going on?
Come outside with me, quick. Something terrible is happening.
Sir, take my arm. Oh my God, I'll call an ambulance.
Karen!
Sir, look out.
Oh my God. It's Sir Andrew.
Let me help you up, sir. I'm so sorry. I saw you running towards the body and I forgot you couldn't see it.
He's dead?
Yes, he's dead.
But I thought I heard his footsteps.
Sir, are you all right?
Must have been imagining.
Are you all right?
No. This is his body. He's still running. Oh dear God. Always to run, never to rest. Never.
Hello, John. I'm glad to see you.
Hi, Jean. What's with Chris and this me stuff?
I don't know. Maybe you can find out.
Hey, Chris. What's with this me stuff?
Me. Now give me a C, will ya?
What? Versus me. Now you want to see? What gives?
Why, John, C is for cremation company. As in Davis Cremation Company, for all of your cremation needs. Remember, we service your pets as well. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight for our program, An Evening of Horror and Suspense, brought to you by the good people of the Davis Cremation This next story, Alive in the Grave, is about a man forced to choose between the right things and a really horrible thing. It was written by Paul Tergeist and stars Scott Malpass, Stefania Gomez, Paul Baker, Elizabeth Bourne, and Yvonne Webb.
Oh, I've heard about guys like you. I've read about grave robbers, but I never thought I'd come across one. Now listen here. I sent for the cops, young man. Don't you try any rough stuff. I'm a match for you any day.
But you don't understand. I tried to save his life, but now it's too late.
Now don't you give me that. This fellow was given a decent Christian burial. You desecrated his...
Desecrated, you say? Isn't it desecration to bury a man while he's still alive?
Huh? What's he talking about? You don't think people go around being buried alive these days, do you? I don't know what to make of you. I watched you this afternoon. I thought you looked a bit peculiar. I wondered what you were doing at a pauper's burial.
He shouldn't have had a pauper's burial. He shouldn't have been buried at all. I could have saved him.
Well, you better have a good story. Something told me you were up to no good. Nah, don't you try any rough stuff. I already warned you. The police are on their way. Breaking open a coffin like that? Oh, I knew you were up to something, but I never thought.
It's because I let him get buried alive. And I was ashamed. Let him get buried alive for a measly $50. Now he's dead.
Hey, did you come out of a loony bin or something? Now that I get a better look at you, you don't look like no grave robber.
I'm not. Listen.
What's he to you? This fellow in the grave here.
It's nothing. Except I'm responsible for his death. Oh, I touched him. He's cold. Cold as death.
He's only been in the ground a few hours. They don't stay cold like that. Sometimes we get an exhumation order. We have to dig him up. You'd be surprised how cold they get.
He is dead, isn't he? I brought this mirror with me. There's no breath. Look.
I have to look. He's been in the municipal morgue for 2 days. They gave him a pauper's burial. Now then, what is this all about, young man? I want to go home. He was dead already when they buried him.
But not when the ambulance took him to the morgue. You see, I know.
You know. Oh, was he a relative of yours after all?
I didn't even know he existed until 2 days ago. I've been trapped on the streets looking for work. I didn't want to go home, if you can call that one room little and I live in a home. It was still ringing in my ears. The things she shouted at me as I left there.
I'm just about had it, Joe Wellish. I pawned everything. Look, even the wedding ring you slipped on my finger at the church. What did that preacher say? All my worldly goods? Ha! That's a laugh. You were gonna share all your worldly goods, were ya? Well, if you don't get some money or a job, I'm walking out on ya. See here? I'm walking out on ya, and I'm going live with my sister. At least I'll get some warmth and 3 square meals there.
Oh, don't say that, Lil. Was it my fault I got sick and couldn't work in the factory no more? I've tried, Lil, I really have. Everywhere I go, they take one look at me and say, sorry, not hired.
Not my fault either. I warn you, I can't take much more of this.
I know, honey, I know. Listen, I'll get something today. I promise. It was a promise. the dislike and fear in the eyes of the world as I passed. Fear that one day they'd be where I was standing. And then I see him. I was coming up Duke's Lane. Nothing on either side except a huge brick wall. He was a short, fat little man. I heard his footsteps. I heard him stop. What was he stopping for? Was he scared of me? Did he think I was some kind of gangster or something? I know I looked like something that crawled out of a piece of cheese. But he's calmed down. He's keeping me breathing. I wonder who he is. Check his pockets. Damn. Look at this money. Must be $50 here at least. He's dead. Poor sap. What good is his money now? I better call it out.
Well, if you don't get the money or job, I'm walking out on you. See here? I'm walking out.
There's nothing anyone can do for this poor sap. They'll find him soon enough. What does the guy do in a case like this? Beat it, you fool! Beat it with the first decent money you've had in months! Somebody will find him. Run! Now look!
Joe, you got some money.
That's right, Lil. A 20, 2 tens, and a rest in sickles. It all adds up very nicely. 50 smackers and all.
Oh, Joe, honey, how'd you get this money? You didn't go and do anything silly, did you?
Like what? Rob a bank? I don't know where to start.
But how did you get it?
You'll never believe it. Yeah, remember, I told you, when I was in the sanatorium, there was this guy there with the same lung trouble named Ted Brown.
Yeah.
Well, I lent him a $5.
You lent him $5? Well,
I was still drawing my wages, wasn't I? You know what, the doctor wouldn't let me go back to the factory. It wasn't so bad then.
Yeah, all right. What about this Ted Brown?
Well, I meet him in the streets. He says he's been looking for me all over, wanting to repay me the $5.
Go on.
So we go into a bar to have a drink, and then there was a bookie there. Ted says he has a hot tip, 10 to 1, and it won Lil 50 smackers.
Oh, Joe, $50. Oh, I love you.
Lil went to get some groceries, a couple bottles of beer. I sat down on the bed, turned out the wall. Just checking. I thought it'd be empty. There were 2 of those pockets with plastic windows. One had a card that said, Harold Maxton, 26 Fairley Street, Ormsby. Then I looked at the second. It was a little printed card, one of those medical condition things people carry. It said, if you find me insensible, I am not dead. I am subject to a form of cataleptic illness, which makes me appear dead. If I'm found, please inform Dr. Alfred Left Town, Ormsby, 66641. No, it can't be. No, not dead. Cataleptic? What have I done? What have I done? Don't think he's. I got a telephone. But Lil, she'll wonder where I've gone. Oh, I've given her all the money.
Yeah, all right, I got it, babe. Take these bottles from me, will ya? Joe, what is it?
What time is it, Lil?
I don't know, the pub just opened. I'd say about 6-ish. Come on.
Do you have any change? I gotta call somebody on the phone. I won't take long.
What is it?
I just gotta phone somebody.
You're not going gambling, are ya? You haven't got the bug? You're not betting on tomorrow's races or anything like that, are you, Joe? There are all those bills to be paid.
I know, love. I know. No, I'm not gambling. But I need it, please. I'll be back in a little while. It's just... Please, Lil.
All right, here. Joe.
It's all right, love. Would I be too late with the phone call? Would they bury this poor guy without knowing he was cataleptic? Thinking he was dead? Oh. R. 6, 6, 6, 4, 1. Come on, pick up.
Hello?
Can I speak to Dr. Left Town, please?
No, Dr. Left Town has gone abroad. He's been away for the past doctor has got to be...
No, it isn't that. You don't know which hospital Dr. Leftown was at?
Look, I'm afraid I can't help you. Come on. I gotta go.
Dinner!
Look, hey, why are you shouting? Dinner's on the table.
I'm sorry. And then, another thought seeped into my brain. Underground, a long wooden box, and a man being buried alive, and a shovel heaping the earth on the wooden boards. Oh, there's got to be a Max in the telephone directory. There was. No Harold Maxton. Maybe he had an unlisted number. But 14 Maxtons in all. In fact, everyone alive and bad-tempered.
No. I have no relatives who suffer from cataleptic illness. Perhaps there's another Maxted in the book. Have you tried that?
I have. You're Mr. Zachariah Maxton. You're the last on the list.
Well, I can't help you.
What now? Do I go along to the police and say, look, I stole a man's wallet. Someone might be shoving him into 6 feet of earth. Oh, what do I do? I decided to sleep on it. Sleep? That's allowed. Buried alive. Love you well. Oh, please. Oh, God, no!
There would it be in the wooden box, and it's all your fault, Joanna. I'm struggling for breath. You're going to bury me. Bury me, deep, but not deep enough to get me out of this, or I will make you suffer, here on earth and in the beyond.
Well, Joe English had better do something about it pretty soon. Otherwise, the poor, unfortunate Captain Virginia will be stiff with the cold. But let us see when he does it.
Death! I didn't know what to do! It's been less than 6 hours since I saw him fall. Maybe he's still there. Maybe if I go back to Duke's Lane, he'll be lying there.
Joe,
Sorry, honey, didn't want to wait.
it's the middle of the night. Where you going?
I won't be long.
No, Joe, you're not going anywhere. You've been acting strange. Oh, Joe, I know I've nagged and threatened you, but it was only because you were getting so down, so beaten. I love you, Joe. Otherwise...
It isn't that at all. All right, Will. I'll tell you. Then you'll see why I have to go. And so I told the whole story of how I robbed a man I thought was dead. A corpse that had no use for the $50 in his wallet. So, you see, I gotta go find him, or find out where they're taking him. They'll think he's dead, Will.
Oh, Joe. Joe, someone will have found him by now. He's probably lying in bed fast asleep. People who have these sorts of fits, they recover.
No, they don't. After I found all the Maxtons I could, I went to the library and I looked it up. Unless they get help, they can stay that way for days. By then, they will bury him. And you know what that makes me? A murderer. I'm letting a man die for $50.
Oh, no, Joe. What if you phone the police station? What if you call the Orange police station and tell them? Oh, no, Joe, you can't do that. They'll call you a thief and put you away. Look, I'm getting dressed and coming with you. What'd you say it was? Duke's Lane? Joe, that's great, he's still there.
It might be worse. He might have died for lack of attention. Let's pray. Someone saw him and took him to the hospital and they realized he wasn't dead.
Bit nippy this time of the morning, isn't it? You're up late, aren't you?
Yes, officer.
There was a little commotion in Duke's Lane a few hours ago. My friend Phyllis told me something happened in Duke's Lane.
Yeah. Son, just before I came on duty, a boatman saw a man lying in the lane there, dropped dead. Yeah. What was the police surgeon said? I mean, yeah, why? Know anything about it?
No, we don't know anything about it. It was just, he wanted in with Emily New is all.
Oh, well, I believe they've identified him all right. Now, if you hop around at the station, they may be able to tell you.
I don't think it's Emily No. Come on, darling, it's too cold to stand and chat. Let's go home to bed.
Hey, you two married.
Of course we are.
Hey, you should have been dead ages ago. Good night. Or rather, good morning.
Let's go to the police station.
No. We have to tell him about the wallet. Besides, this policeman doesn't really know.
Lil.
It's no good, Joe. We're going home. Come on. Some more coffee, Joe?
No thanks, Lil. Look, it's no good. We've got to go to the police. We're committing murder. It's 2 days now. I didn't sleep a wink last night. Kept having nightmares. Hearing Max's voice pounding in my brain, telling me to save him before it's too late.
You're the only one who can save me, Amos. They're burying me this afternoon. They're putting me in a coffin. They're covering me with dirt. If you allow this to happen, you are a murderer, Joey. A murderer. Do you hear? You will be punished.
You can say I'll be punished.
Like you said yourself, it's only a nightmare. All right, don't you go. I will. I'll say that I knew, what was his name?
Maxton. Harold Maxton.
I'll say a gnome, and then he's a cataleptic. That's it. I'll go. Excuse me.
Huh? Hello? Hey, aren't you the young lady I saw down by at Duke's Lane in the wee hours last night?
That's right. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. You know, you were talking about someone who dropped dead that afternoon. Were you able to identify him?
Yeah, we were able to identify all right. Why?
Well, he's cataleptic. He's not really dead, no.
Don't be funny. Hey, I got a card here. Now, they're burying him this afternoon. He's in the mortuary, cardiac failure. Now, this is a relief for the body, for it to be buried. It's signed by the police surgeon, Dr. Otto Shortlife. Now, he may have been a cataleptic, I don't know about that, but he died of heart failure. I'll be buried in a pauper's grave at the town cemetery this afternoon. Didn't die of heart failure, indeed. Not dead.
Maybe I'm being a bit silly. Thank you, officer. Goodbye. Sure, he's dead. The death certificate was signed by the police sergeant.
What does that cop know about cataleptics? If the doctor had known he was a cataleptic, I'm going to stop the bearing.
You can't, Joe. You can't. Once you tell the police about the wallet, where you going, Joe?
I don't know. Get drunk. I don't know anything anymore. Even my beer went sour in my mouth. I had bought it with blood money. The blood of Harold Maxton.
What's the matter, Joe? You drank blood in your blood. I would think the Killians is more appropriate. The Killians?
I left the car and walked. They were buried him in a pauper's grave, were they? I didn't ask cemetery, they seemed they didn't belong to me. They were burying him as I got there, a minister, a grave digger, and a woman, the caretaker, I guess, and an old man, and the police sergeant. I wanted to shout, "Don't! Don't put him in that grave! He's not a corpse! He's alive!" I couldn't. Those 3 stripes on the cop's sleeve seemed to add up to the number of years I would get for stealing and withholding information. I ran from the cemetery as though I was running from the vengeance of Maxton himself.
Hello, Joe.
They buried him. I saw them do it in a cheap wooden coffin. Maybe it's a good thing the coffin was a cheap one. Maybe the coffin maker gutted it. Maybe there are holes in it. Maybe the poor sap will be able to breathe. Oh, 50 measly bucks. 50 rotten dollars. And I've turned myself into a murderer. I believe you in on it too. They'll say you're part of the conspiracy. What have I done to you? What have I done to us?
Nothing, Joe. All right. So you nabbed his wallet when you were both starving. No one can have you up for murder.
That's beside the point now, isn't it, Lip? He's down there, struggling for breath, isn't he? Oh, he won't be struggling long. I don't know anything about cataleptics, but you can't be nailed inside a coffin underneath 6 feet of earth long. Look out the window. Well, it's got dark already.
It's winter, Joe.
Oh, I know the grave, Lil. I'm going back.
Joe!
You're not going to stop me, Lil. I'm going, man, and I'm going to get him out of that grave. Please, Lil, I've got to go.
All right, Joe. I'll go with you.
No, I couldn't bear that. I've got to do this on my own.
Supposing he's too heavy for you. You're not strong, Joe.
It's a pauper's grave, Lil. They didn't take much trouble with it.
Why, Papa? All that money in his wallet?
That makes it worse, doesn't it? Maybe they couldn't contact his relatives, what with his doctor gone away and everything. Here, Lil, get my hammer out of the drawer. It's got that claw thing on the end of the nails. All right, here's the spade. And that piece of mirror.
Right. Here. I hope you're right. I hope you know what you're doing.
It's the only way. It's the only way. And here I am. And it's too late. He's dead already.
Gee whiz, young man. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, not for nothing. But hold on, just a minute. Did I hear you say what this guy's name was?
Maxton. Harold Maxton.
What? Oh, no, it's not.
Huh?
This fella's name is Sidney Frazier. Are you sure it's the same name?
Positive. I know it's him. His accusing face follows me around, sleeping and waking.
Well, come and have a look with me, young man. We don't give these paupers much of a tombstone. There you are, Sidney Frazier, born February the 6th, 1920. Died December the 5th, 1967.
I told you everything. They've given him the wrong name.
You better tell that to the police. I'm sorry about this, young man. I warned you. I thought I was too old to take you on my own. When you started opening that grave, I ran to the cemetery office and phoned the police.
Oh well, it's almost a relief in a way.
Hello? Hey, what's all this? It's you again. Your missus was in the police station this morning with some nonsense about that. Digging up a grave, are you? There's something fishy going on. No, I told my sergeant that your wife came in and we were burying somebody who was a cataleptic, who was not dead. He nearly strangled me. Yes, I should have taken full particulars. Instead I had a charge of both with causing a puppet nuisance. pleasure of his company. But more often than not, it was a prison hospital. Now, our police surgeons warned him that he hadn't had long to live. Now, no one comes here with a cotton bull story that we're burying him alive, as if we didn't know him. Sidney Fraser. Until 2 days ago, he was the finest pickpocket in this town.
Pickpocket?
Yeah. Why, only the other day, we had a complaint from this gentleman, Maxted was his name. That someone had stolen his wallet. And this fella bumped into him at a bus stop, and started running. And the next thing he knew, his wallet was gone. From his description, we knew it was old Sam. Yeah. Turns out he was probably picking his last pocket.
Pick Max's pocket. He wasn't counting. He was a pickpocket.
I guess I'm just a figment of your imagination. Sorry for all the hassles. You still owe me 50
That's enough lying you.
Why? Nothing. You better pull yourself together. Now, what were you doing here? And why is this grave open?
Oh, it's all right, officer. Our young friend here got a bit mixed up. I opened the grave to show him he was mistaken.
Well, then why did you ring the police and say that there was a suspicion of the lesson in the cemetery?
Well, it seems I was mistaken too. That's all, officer. In fact, we were both mistaken. Weren't we, young men?
Another tale of the macabre from an evening of horror and suspense. We will now take a short intermission. Please don't stray too far. Maybe go away for about 15 minutes. Come back if you dare. We have more chills coming your way shortly. Brings you the second half of our show, an evening of horror and suspense.
Hey, John, what's today's date?
It's the 21st,
How do you know?
because tomorrow's the 22nd, which is a famous date.
What do you mean a famous date?
It's the anniversary of the last hanging in the United States, which was in 1692.
Ooh, that's something.
Hey, did I hear you talking about something famous?
I guess.
I was just about to talk about something famous.
Is that so?
Davis Cremation Company. Saving space for the rest of us. The Davis Cremation Company and its more than 10 locations throughout the state bring you more of our program, an evening of horror and suspense. We continue now with The Yellow Wallpaper, a cautionary tale of the importance of good decorating for one's Mental Health, written by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and performed by Rachel Watson, Paul Baker, and Karina Crispin.
What a house we've secured for the summer, a colonial mansion. I would say a haunted house, but that would be asking too much. Still, I will proudly declare there is something queer about it. Else, why should it be let so cheaply? John laughs at me, of course. John is practical. He scoffs openly at any talk of things not felt and seen. John is a physician, and perhaps, I would not say it to a living soul, of course, perhaps that is one reason I do not get well faster. You see, he does not believe I am sick. And what can one do? If an eminent physician, one's own husband, assures everyone there is nothing the matter but temporary nervous depression, what is one to do? So I take phosphates and air and exercise, and am absolutely forbidden to work. Personally, I disagree. I believe that congenial work would do me good. But what is one to do? I sometimes fancy that if I had less opposition and more society, but John says the worst thing I can do is to think about my condition. So I will let him alone and talk about the house. The most beautiful place. It stands well back from the road. There is a delicious garden, full of box-bordered paths and arbors. The place has been empty for years. There was some legal trouble, I believe. That spoils my ghostliness, but I don't care. There is something strange about this house. I said so to John. He said I felt a draft and shut the window. I get unreasonably angry with John sometimes. I think it is due to this nervous condition. John says I should take pains to control myself. I don't like our room a bit. I wanted one downstairs, but John would not hear of it. He said there was only one window. He is very careful and loving, and hardly lets me stir without special direction. He takes all care for me, and so I feel basely ungrateful not to value it more.
Darling, you know we came here solely on your account, so you might have all the air you can get. Your exercise depends on your strength, my dear, and your food somewhat on your appetite, but air you can get all the time.
So we took the room at the top. It is a big, airy room with windows that look all ways. It was a nursery first, I think. The windows are barred for little children. The paper looks as if a boys' school had used it. It is stripped off in great patches all around the head of my bed, about as far as I can reach, and in a great place on the other side of the room, low down. I never saw worse paper. One of those sprawling, flamboyant patterns committing every artistic sin. It is dull enough to confuse the eye, pronounced enough to constantly irritate and provoke study, and when you follow the lame, uncertain curves, they suddenly commit suicide, plunge off at outrageous angles, destroy themselves in unheard of contradictions. The color is repellent, almost revolting. Smoldering, unclean yellow, dull yet lurid orange, a sickly sulfur tint. No wonder the children hated it. I should hate it myself if I had to live in this room long. There comes John, and I must put this away. He hates when I write a word. I am sitting up in this atrocious nursery, and there is nothing to hinder my writing, save lack of strength. John is away all day, and even some nights when his cases are serious. I'm glad my case is not serious. These nervous troubles are dreadfully depressing. John does not know how much I really suffer. He knows there is no reason to suffer, and that satisfies him. Of course it is only nervousness. It does weigh on me so not to do my duty in any way. I meant to be such a help to John, and here I am a burden. Nobody would believe what an effort everything is. It makes me so nervous. John never was nervous.
windows, and then the gate at the head of the stairs. Be strong. You know the place is doing you good, and really, dear, I don't care to renovate the house just for 3 months rental.
Then do let us go downstairs. There are such pretty rooms there.
There now, come to Papa. You, my dear, are a blessed little goose, and I will go down to the cellar if you wish it, and have it whitewashed into the barn.
But he is right enough. It is an airy room, of course. I would not be so silly as to make him uncomfortable, just for a whim. I'm really getting quite fond of the big room. All but that horrid paper. Out of one window, I get a lovely view of a shaded lane. I always fancy I see people walking in these paths. But John says that a nervous weakness like mine is sure to lead to all manner of excited fancies, and that I ought to use my will to check the tendency. So I try. If only I were well enough to write. It is so discouraging not to have any advice and companionship about my work. John says he would as soon put fireworks in my pillowcases to let me have stimulating people about now. I wish I could get well faster, but I must not think about that. This wallpaper looks to me as if it knew what a vicious influence it had. There is a recurrent spot where the pattern lolls like a broken neck, and two bulbous eyes stare at you upside down. I get positively angry with the impertinence of it. Those absurd, unblinking eyes are everywhere. I never saw so much expression in an inanimate thing before, and we all know how much expression they have. As a child, I used to get more entertainment and terror out of blank walls and plain furniture than most children could find in a toy store. The wallpaper, as I said before, is torn off in spots. The plaster itself is dug out here and there, and this great bed, which is all we found in the room, looks as if it had been through the wars. But I don't mind it a bit. Only the paper. There comes John's sister. Such a dear girl, and so careful of me. I must not let her find me writing. She thinks it is the writing which makes me sick. But I can write when she is out, and see her a long way off from the windows. This wallpaper has a kind of sub-pattern in a different shade, a particularly irritating one where you can only see it in certain lights and not clearly then. But in the places where it isn't faded, and where the sun is just so, I can see a strange, provoking, formless sort of figure that seems to skulk about behind that silly and conspicuous front design. There's sister downstairs. Well, the 4th of July is over. The people are all gone and I'm tired out. John thought it might do me good to see a little company. Of course, I didn't do a thing. Jenny sees to everything now. But it tired me all the same. I don't feel as if it was worthwhile to turn my hand over for anything. I cry at nothing, and cry most of the time. Of course, I don't when John is here, but when I'm alone. And I'm alone a good deal. John is kept in town, very often by serious cases, and Jenny is good and lets me alone when I want her to. So I lie down up here a good deal. I'm getting really fond of the room, in spite of the wallpaper. Perhaps because of the wallpaper, it dwells in my mind so. I lie here on this great immovable bed, nailed down, I believe, and follow that pattern about by the hour. It is as good as gymnastics, I assure you. I start over there, where it has not been touched, and I determine for the 1000th time that I will follow that pointless pattern to some sort of conclusion. I know a little of the principle of design, and I know this thing was not arranged on any laws of radiation, or alternation, or repetition, or symmetry, or anything else that I ever heard of. It is repeated, of course, by the breaths, but not otherwise. Looked at it, each breath stands alone, the bloated curves and flourishes, a kind of debased Romanesque, with delirium tremens, go wobbling up and down in isolated columns of patchouli. But on the other hand, they connect diagonally, and the sprawling outlines run off in great slanting waves of optic horror, like a lot of wallowing seaweeds in full chase. and lie down ever so much. John says I mustn't lose my strength and has me take cod liver oil and things. Dear John, he loves me very dearly and hates to have me sick. I tried to have a real, earnest, reasonable talk with him the other day. John, dear, I wish you would let me go and visit Cousin Henry and Julia.
Darling girl, you know you're not able to take a trip like that, and you wouldn't be able to stand the strain even if you could get there. What makes you think you should?
Well, I just thought that maybe, I know I'm not strong, but this place, it's just, and you wouldn't change it even though you promised, and I just...
There. Come on, here we go, my girl.
Stop! Don't pick me up!
Just lay your head there and let your arm carry the little girl upstairs and tuck her in. There. Shh. Quiet now. You are my darling and you're all I have. You have to take care of yourself, dear, for my sake. You know, sweetheart, no one but yourself can help you get well. Use your will and your self-control, there's a good girl, and don't let silly fancies run away with you. Now, you just lie back, rest your head, and I'll read you sleep. Now, here's a good one. On either side of the river lie long fields of barley and rye that clothe the gold and meet the sky, and through the field the
Of course, I never mention it to them anymore. I am too wise, but I keep watching it all the same. There are things in that paper that nobody knows but me. The dim shapes get clearer every day. It is like a woman stooping down and creeping about behind that pattern. I don't like it a bit. I wonder. I begin to think, I wish John would take me away from here. It is so hard to talk to John about my case. He is so wise and he loves me so. But I tried it last night. I hate to see the moon sometimes. It creeps so slowly and always comes in by one window or another. John was asleep, so I kept still and watched the moonlight on that undulating wall beam until I felt creepy. The faint figure behind seemed to shake the pattern, just as if she wanted to get out. I got up softly and went to feel if the paper did move. When I came back, John was awake.
What is it, little girl? Don't go walking about like that. You'll get cold.
John, dear, I know you don't, well, I'm really not gaining here, not at all. I do wish you would take me away from here.
All right, darling. Our lease will be up in 3 weeks. The repairs are not done at home, and I can't possibly leave town just now. Of course, if you were in any danger, but you really are better, whether you can see it or not. I am the doctor, dear, and I know. You are gaining flesh and color. Your appetite is better. I really feel much better about you.
I don't weigh a bit more, nor as much, and my appetite may be better when you are here, but it is worse when you are away.
Bless her little heart. She shall be as sick as she pleases, but now let's improve the shining hours by going to sleep and talk about it in the morning.
And you won't go away?
Why, how can I, dear? It's only 3 weeks more. Really, dear, you are better.
Better in body, perhaps. What? Why do you look so at me?
My darling, I beg of you, for all our sakes, that you will never, for 1 instant, let that idea enter your mind. There is nothing so dangerous to a temperament like yours. It is a false and foolish fancy. Trust me as your doctor.
So of course I said no more. He thought I was asleep first, but I wasn't. And lay there for hours, trying to decide whether that front pattern and the back pattern really did move together or separately. On a pattern like this, by daylight, there is a lack of sequence, a defiance of law that is a constant irritant to a normal mind. You think you have mastered it, but just as you get well underway, it turns a back somersault, and there you are. It slaps you in the face, down and tramples upon you. It's like a bad dream. Imagine a toadstool in joints, an interminable string of toadstools budding and sprouting in endless convolutions. There is one marked peculiarity about this paper. Nobody else seems to notice. It changes with the light. When the sun shoots in through the east window, I always watch for that first ray. It changes so quickly that I never can quite believe it. That is why I watch it always. By moonlight, I wouldn't know it was the same paper. At night, in any kind of light, and worst of all by moonlight, it becomes bars. The outside pattern, I mean, and the woman behind it is as plain as can be. I didn't realize for a long time what the thing was that showed behind. But now I am quite sure it is a woman. By daylight, she is subdued, quiet, and I fancy it is the pattern that keeps her so still. It is so puzzling. It keeps me quiet by the hour. I lie down ever so much now. John says it is good for me to sleep all I can. Indeed, he started the habit by making me lie down for an hour after each meal. It is a very bad habit, I am convinced, for you see, I don't sleep. And that cultivates deceit, for I don't tell them when I'm awake. Oh no. The fact is, I'm getting a little afraid of John. He seems very queer sometimes, and even Jenny has an inexplicable look. It strikes me occasionally just as a scientific hypothesis, but perhaps it is the paper. I have watched John and come into the room suddenly on the most innocent excuses, and I've called him several times looking at the paper. And Jenny, too. I caught Jenny with her hand on once. She didn't know I was in the room, and when I asked her in a very quiet voice, with the most restrained manner possible, "Jenny! What are you doing with that paper?" "Jane, I didn't hear you come in. Why did you frighten the girl so?" "Well, what are you about?" "I was looking at the paper."
You know, I've been finding yellow smooches on all your clothes, and I declare it's the paper. It stains everything it touches. I do wish you could be more careful about touching it. Those stains are just that hard to get out.
Didn't that sound innocent? I know she was studying that pattern. Nobody shall find it out but myself. Life is very much more exciting now. I have something to look forward to watch. I really do eat better and am more quiet than I was. John is so pleased to see me improve.
Oh, my darling, you seem to be positively flourishing, in spite of your horrible wallpaper that must be changed, eh?
Of course, my love, I'm better every day, in spite of... You were right, of course. I had no intention of telling him that it was because of the wallpaper. He would make fun of me. He might even want to take me away. I don't want to leave now until I have found it out. 1 week more. I'm feeling ever so much better. I don't sleep much at night. It is so interesting to watch developments, but I sleep a good deal in the daytime. In the daytime, it is tiresome and perplexing. There are always new shoots on the fungus and new shades of yellow all over it. I cannot keep count of them. It is the strangest yellow, that wallpaper, like all the yellow things I have ever seen. Not beautiful ones like buttercups, foul, bad yellow things. But there is something else about that paper. The smell. It creeps all over the house. Even when I go to ride, if I turn my head suddenly and surprise it, there is that smell. Such a peculiar odor, too. I have spent hours trying to find out what it smelled like. It is not bad at first, and very gentle, but quite the subtlest, most enduring odor I have ever met. I wake up in the night and find it hanging over me. It used to disturb me at first. I thought seriously of burning the house to reach the smell. But now I am used to it. I think it is like the color of the paper. A yellow smell. There is a very funny mark on this wall, low down near the mopboard. A streak runs round the room behind every piece of furniture except the bed. A long, straight, even smooch, as if it had been rubbed over and over. I wonder who did it, and what they did it for. Round and round and round, round and round and round. It makes me dizzy. I really have discovered something at last. Through watching at night, when it changes them, I finally found out. The front pattern does move, and no wonder. The woman behind shakes it. Sometimes I think there are a great many women behind, and sometimes only one, and she crawls around fast, and the crawling shakes it all over. Then in the very bright spots, she keeps still, and in the very shady spots, she just takes hold of the bars and shakes them hard. And she is all the time trying to climb through, but nobody could. It strangles so, it has so many heads. They get through, and then the pattern strangles them off and turns them upside down and makes their eyes white. If those heads were covered or taken off, it would not be half so bad. I think that woman gets out in the daytime, and I'll tell you why, privately. I've seen her. I can see her out of every one of my windows. It is the same woman, I know, for she is always crawling, and most women do not crawl by daylight. I see her on that long road under the trees, creeping along, and when a carriage comes, she hides under the blackberry vines. I don't blame her a bit. It must be very humiliating to be caught crawling by daylight. I always lock the door when I crawl by daylight. I can't do it at night, for I know John would suspect something. And John is so queer now that I don't want to irritate him. I wish he would take another room. Besides, I don't want anybody to get that woman out at night but myself. I often wonder if I could see her out of all the windows at once. She may be able to creep faster than I can turn. I have watched her sometimes, way off in the open country, creeping as fast as a cloud shadow in a high wind. If only that top pattern could be gotten off. I need to try it. I have found out another funny thing, but I shan't tell it this time. It does not do to trust people too much. There are only 2 more days to get this paper off, and I believe John is beginning to take notice. I don't like the look in his eyes. John knows I don't sleep very well at night, for all I'm so quiet. He asked me all sorts of questions and pretended to be very loving and kind, as if I couldn't see through him. Still, I don't wonder he asked so, sleeping under this paper for 3 months. It only interests me, but I feel sure John and Jenny are secretly affected by it. Hurrah! This is the last day, but it is enough. John won't be back until this evening. Jenny wanted to sleep with me, the sly thing. I told her I should undoubtedly rest better all alone. That was clever, for really I wasn't alone a bit. As soon as it was We shall sleep downstairs tonight and take the boat home tomorrow. I quite enjoy the room now. It is bare again. This bedstead is fairly gnawed. But I must get to work. I have locked the door and thrown the key down into the front path. I don't want to go out, and I don't want to have anybody come in till John comes. I want to astonish him. I've got a rope up here that even Jenny did not find. If that woman does get out, I can tie her. But I forgot I could not reach far without anything to stand on. This bed will not move. I tried to lift and push it until I was lame, and then I got so angry, I bit off a little piece at one corner. But it hurt my teeth. Then I peeled off all the paper I could reach standing on the floor. It sticks horribly, and the pattern just enjoys it. All those strangled heads and bulbous eyes and waddly fungus growths just shriek with derision. I am getting angry enough to do something desperate. To jump out of the window would be an admirable exercise, but the bars are too strong even to try. Besides, I wouldn't do it. Of course not. I know that a step like that is improper and might be misconstrued. I don't like to look out of the windows even. There are so many of those crawling women. I wonder if they all come out of the wallpaper as I did. But I am securely fastened now by my rope. You don't get me out of the road there. I suppose I shall have to get back behind the pattern when it comes night. And that is hard. It is so pleasant to be out in this great room and creep around as I please. I don't want to go outside. I won't, even if Jenny asks me to. For outside you have to crawl on the ground and everything's green instead of yellow. But here, I can crawl smoothly on the floor, and my shoulder just fits in that long smooch around the wall, so I cannot lose my way. Why, there's John at the door. It's no use, young man, you can't open it.
Oh, open the door. What are you doing in there? Darling, let me in. Please let me in. Somebody get an axe.
It would be a shame to break down that beautiful door. John, dear, the key is down by the front steps under a plantain leaf.
Open the door, my darling.
I can't. The key is down by the front door under a plantain leaf. The key is down by the front door under a plantain leaf. The key is down by the front door under a plantain leaf.
What is the matter? For God's sake, what are you doing?
I got it at last in spite of you and Jane, and I pulled off most of the pictures so you can't hold it back. Now why should that man have fainted? But he did, and right across my path by the wall, so that I had to crawl over him every time.
Hello, John. What are you reading?
Oh, just brushing up on the baseball score.
Is that so? I didn't know you were a baseball fan.
Yeah, I root for the White Sox every year.
What's your favorite team, Gene?
Oh, I usually root for the Detroit Tigers. Who you root for, Chris?
Who, me? Why, I always root for the team that's earned it, of course. Davis Cremation Company of Hyde Park. You can't beat their selection of new and used urns to house your loved ones for eternity. We now conclude tonight's broadcast of an evening of horror and suspense with The Sight, written by Ray Bradbury and performed by Stefania Gomez, Luciana Teschini, Pat Cummings, Susan Harris, and Marianne Millo.
Quite suddenly, there was no more room. It ran down the valley like any other road, between slopes of barren, stony ground and live oak trees, and then past a broad field of wheat standing alone in the wilderness. It came up beside the small white house that belonged in the wheat field and then just faded out. And so there was no more use for it. It didn't matter much, because there the last of the gas was gone. Drew Erickson's braked the ancient car to a stop and sat there, not speaking, staring at his big, rough farmer's hands.
We must have took the wrong fork back counter. Drew, what are we going to do now?
Drew stared at his hands.
What are we stopping for, Pa? Are we gonna eat now, Pa? I'm awfully hungry. Can we eat now, Pa?
Drew, maybe in the house there they'd spare us something to eat.
Begging? If none of us ever begged before, ain't none of us ever going to.
Molly's hand tightened on his wrist. He turned and saw her eyes. He saw the eyes of Susie and little Drew looking at him. He got out of the car and went up the path to the house. The door of the house was open. Drew knocked 3 times. There was nothing but silence. He knew it before he went in. He knew there was death in the house. He looked through an open door and saw the dead man. He was an old man, lying out on a clean white bed. He hadn't been dead long. He must have known he was going to, because he wore his grave clothes. An old black suit, brushed and neat, and a clean white shirt and a black tie. A silent leaned against the wall beside the bed. The paper lay open on the pillow beside the old man's head. Maybe a request for burial or call a relative. Drew scowled over the words, moving his pale, dry lips.
To him who stands beside me in my deathbed, being of sound mind and alone in the world as it has been decreed, I, John Burr, do give and bequeath this farm, with all pertaining to it, to the man who is to come. Whatever his name or origin shall be, it will not matter. The farm is his, and the wheat, the scythe, and the task ordained thereto. Let him take them freely and without question, and remember that I, John Burr, am only the giver, not the ordainer, to which I set my hand and seal this 3rd day of April, 1938. John Burr, Kyrie eleison.
Drew walked back through the house and opened the 3 doors.
Mom, will you come in? Kids, you stay in the car.
He took her to the bedroom. She looked at the will, the scythe, the wheat field moving in the hot wind outside the window.
It's too good to be true. There must be some trick to it.
Well, let's change it, that's all. We'll have work to do, stuff to eat, something over our heads. Keep rain on.
He touched the side. Words were scratched on its blade. Who wields me, wields the world. It didn't mean much to him right at that moment.
Drew, why is he holding up wheat stalks so hard with his fingers?
Mom, hey, Mom, hey, what's
They lived in that house. They buried the old man on a hill and said some words in there. And came back down and swept the house and unloaded the car and had something to eat because there was food outside. In the kitchen. And they did nothing for 3 days but fix the house and look at the land and lie in the good beds. And then look at one another in surprise that all this was happening in this way. And their stomachs were full, and there was even a cigar for him to smoke in the evenings. On the fourth morning, Drew Erickson lay in bed looking at the side, and he knew it was time to work. He roused himself in the first fresh smell of dawn and took the side and held it before him as he walked out into the field. It was a big field, too big for one man to tend, and yet one man had tended it. At the end of the first day of work, he walked in with the scythe riding on his shoulder quietly, and there was a look on his face of a puzzled man.
It's so weak from the like of which I've never seen. It ripens only in separate clusters, each set off from the others. We shouldn't do that. The wheat rots within a few hours after I cut it down. We shouldn't do that either.
He was not greatly worried. After all, there was food at hand. He didn't tell Mom. The next morning, the wheat he had left rotting, cut down, had taken hold and come up again in little green sprouts with tiny roots, all born again. Drew Erickson rubbed his chin, wondering what and why and how it acted that way, and what good it would be to him. He couldn't sell it. A couple times during the day, he walked far up in the hills to where the old man's grave was, just to be sure the old man was there.
What is this here, John? What have you left me? Wheat stretching 3 miles toward the mountains, 2 acres wide, patches of it in seedlings, patches of it golden, patches of it green, patches of it fresh cut by my own hand. What is that then? I guess you've got nothing to say concerning this. There are a lot of stones and dirt in your face now.
So Drew Erickson walked back down to use the scythe. Curious, enjoying it because it seemed important. He didn't know why, but it was. Very, very important.
If I cut the wheat for the next 10 years, just as it ripens up, I don't think I'll pass the same spot twice. Such a damn big field. That wheat ripens just so. Never too much of it so I can't cut all the ripe stuff each day. At least nothing but green grain. And the next morning, sure enough, another patch of ripe stuff. It was damn foolish to cut the grain when it rotted as quickly as it fell.
At the end of the week, he decided to let it go a few days. He lay in bed late, just listening to the silence in the house that wasn't anything like death silence, but a silence of things living well and happily. He got up, dressed, and ate his breakfast slowly. He wasn't going to work. He went out to milk the cows, stood on the porch smoking a cigarette, walked about the backyard a little, and then came back in.
What did I just go out to do?
Milk the cows.
Oh, yes.
He found the cows waiting in fold, milked them, and put the milk cans in the spring house, but thought of other things. The wheat, society. He kept looking at the wheat and the wind bending and tipping and ruffling it. By 1 o'clock, he was going in and out of the house, getting underfoot, thinking about digging an irrigation ditch, but all the time really thinking about the wheat and how ripe and beautiful it was, aching to be cut.
Damn!
He strode into the bedroom, took the side down off its wallpaper. He stood holding it, felt cool. His hands stopped itching. His head didn't ache. It was instinct. Illogical as lightning striking and not hurting.
Each day the grain must be cut. It has to be cut. Why? Well, it just does, that's all. I must feel a little mad. Yeah, it's hard enough we feel, isn't it?
The days loped away like gentle horses. Hugh Erickson never missed a day beside it. Up, down, up, down, and across, back, and up and down and across. Cutting, up, down, up. Think about the old man and the wheat in his hands when he died. Down. Think about this dead land with wheat living on it. Up. Think about the crazy pattern of ripened green wheat, the way it grows. Down. Think about the wheat whirled in full yellow tide at his ankles. The sky blinded. Hugh Erickson dropped the side and bent over to hold his stomach. His eyes running blindly. The world reeled.
I killed somebody. I killed a lot. Get the things back.
Why?
We're leaving.
We're leaving?
That old man, you know what he did? There's the wheat mob on the sign. Every time he's the sign of the wheat, 1,000 people died. You cut across the
We beat you to hell with the line. Haven't eaten good until the last month here. You've been working every day, and you're tired.
voices, singing voices out there in the wheat, telling him to stop, telling him not to kill him. The field grows crooked, wild like a crazy thing. I can tell you, but it's wrong. You think I'm crazy, but wait till I tell you. Oh God, Molly, help me! I just killed my mother.
Stop it!
I took down one stalk of wheat and I killed her. I felt her dying. That's how I found out just now.
Shut up!
Oh, Mom!
10 years I've been with you. Sometimes we had nothing but dust and prayer in our mouths. Now, all this good luck, suddenly you can't bear up under it. Shh. Now, you listen.
She read from the Bible each day after that. The following Wednesday, a week later, when Drew walked down to the distant town to see if there was a general delivery meal, there was a letter. He came home looking 200 years old.
Mother passed away. 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. Her heart. Get the kids in the car, loaded with food. We're going to California.
Drew,
You know yourself, Mrs. Poor Grainland. You look how ripe it grows. I ain't told you all the things. It ripens and patches a little each day. It ain't right. And when I cut it, it rots. And next morning it comes out with anyhow growing again. Last Tuesday, a week ago, when I cut the grape, it was like ripping out my own flesh. sounded just like, and now, today, this letter.
We're staying here.
Molly!
We're staying here where we're sure of eating and sleeping and living decent and living long. I'm not starving my children now again, ever.
All right, we'll stay.
The next morning, he walked to the old man's grave. There was a single fresh sprout of wheat growing in the center of it. The same sprout reborn that the old man had held in his hands weeks before.
You worked the field all your life because you had to. And one day you came across your own life growing there. You knew it was yours. You cut it. And you went home, put on your grave clothes in your heart, gave up, you died. That's how it was, wasn't it? And you passed the land on to me. And when I die, I'm supposed to hand it over to someone else. How long a time has this been going on? With nobody knowing about this field and its use, except the man at the side.
Who returned to work? Up, down, up, down. Obsessed with the idea of being the wielder of the South. He himself. It burst upon him in the mad, wild surge of strength and horror. Up, who wields me? Down, wields the world. He had to accept the job with some sort of philosophy. It was simply his way of getting food and housing for his family. They deserved eating and living decent, he thought, after all these years. Up and down. Each grain of life he neatly cut into 2 pieces. If he planned it carefully, he looked at the food. Why, he and Mom and the kids could live forever. Once he found the place where the grain grew, there was Molly and Susie and little grew, he would never cut it. But then, like a signal, it came quietly. Right there over here. Another sweep of the sign, and he cut them away. Molly, Drew, Susie, it was certain. Trembling, he knelt and looked at the few grains of wheat. They glowed at his touch. He groaned with relief. What if he had cut them down, never guessing?
I'll be quit early today. Does the wheat still spoil when it falls?
You ought to write to the agriculture people and have them come look at it.
No!
I was just suggesting.
I gotta stay here all my life. Can't nobody else mess with that wheat. They wouldn't know where to cut and not to cut. They might cut the wrong parts.
What wrong parts?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Who knows what they might want to do, those government men? They might even want to plow the whole field under.
That's just what it means. Start all over again with new seed.
I'm not writing any government, and I'm not handing this field over to no stranger to cut, and that's that.
He detoured around that place where the lives of his children and his wife grew up in the sun, and used his size on the far end of the field where he knew he would make no mistakes. But he no longer liked the work. At the end of an hour, he knew he had brought death to 3 of his old loved friends in his room.
Oh, God. No, Mike, Bob, George, all 3, just like that. Just like, I can't go on, I can't.
He locked the sign in the center and sealed it and put the key away. He was done with reading, done for good and all. He smoked his pipe in the evening on the front porch and told the kids stories to hear them laugh. But they didn't laugh much.
What's the matter, kids?
I'm just tired, Pa. It was a fine story, though.
They seemed withdrawn, tired, and funny, like they weren't his children anymore.
Off to bed so soon. You always said.
My head hurts, Drew. See you in the morning.
Sweet field river with the moonlight on it, making it into a sea. It wanted cutting. Certain parts needed cutting now. Drew Erickson sat, swallowing quietly, trying not to look at it. What had happened to the world if he never went in the field again? What had happened to people ripe for death who waited for the coming of the side? He'd wait and see. In the middle of the night, he found himself walking in the field beside his hands, walking like a crazy man, walking and afraid, half awake. He didn't remember unlocking the cellar door, getting inside. But there he was in the moonlight, walking in the grain. Among those grains, there were many who were old, weary, wanting so very much to sleep. The long, quiet, moonlit sleep. His eyes held him, drew into his palms, forced him to walk.
I don't want to kill anymore. If I work with the sun, I'll have to kill Molly and the kids. Don't ask me to do that. Molly, wake up. Kids, Kids, wake up.
They breathed and didn't move and went on sleeping.
Kids, wake up. Your mother is dead? No, not dead, but...
He shook the kids as if they were to blame. They paid no attention. They were busy with their dreams. He knew why they slept through the fire and continued to sleep now. He knew why Molly just lay there, never wanting to laugh again. The power of the wheat and the sun. Their lives, supposed to end yesterday, May 30th, 1938, had been prolonged simply because he refused to cut the grave. They should have died in the fire. All over the world, thousands more just like them, victims of accidents, fires, disease, suicide, waited, just like Molly and her children, just like them. Not able to die, not able to live. The job had to be done every day and every day, with never a stopping but going on, with never a pause, but always the harvesting, forever and forever and forever.
All right. All right. I'll use the sign. Molly, Susan, Drew.
During the long year, a jalopy gets off the main highway. Pulls up steaming in front of the charred, ruinous little white house at the end of the dirt road to ask instructions from the farmer they see just beyond. The one who works insanely, violently, without ever stopping, night and day, in the endless fields. That they get no help and no action. The farmer in the field is too busy, even after all these years. Too busy slashing and chopping the green wheat instead of the run. And Drew Harrison moves on with his son, with the light of blind suns and look of a white fire in his ever-sleeping eyes. All
of horror and suspense, brought to you by Data Information Company and its 10 locations statewide. Tonight's program featured original music by Jen Lennon and Roland Labana, music produced and engineered by Roland Labana. Our show is produced by Paul Baker, Susan Harris, and directed by Bill Monk. I am your humble host, Chris Skiles, inviting you to join us again next year for an evening of horror and suspense. We can only hope we can all be here. Brought to you by the High